It's time for discussions. Welcome to episode 12 of the Discussions podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the influence that Tony Robbins had on me. He was one of the first authors that I read in the self-development, in the psychology space. And what I think he does really well is he takes very complex and advanced topics and he simplifies it as much as possible and he brings it to the masses in a way that's really easy to understand. So I've had two friends that let me know that they were going through a really tough time. So I gave them a copy of this book, Awaken the Giant Within, which is Tony Robbins' newer book of the two ones that I read. The other one was Unlimited Power, very similar content, but it came out 10 or so years earlier. And I liked Tony Robbins so much when I was at university that I went to see him in Sydney. And it cost over $1,000, I think, for the ticket. But I think that's cheap for Tony Robbins these days. So it was good. He covered very similar topics to what he does in the books. But when you see him in person, it really brings it to life. And it's as if it's the same experience as if you have the book and you do the exercises like perfect 100%, you do a little bit of research and make sure that you're doing the exercises to the fullest extent. That's what you get in person. But I guess in theory you could get the same experience just from reading the books and getting really passionate and involved in the exercises that he recommends. So to save you reading those two books, I'm going to bring you some of the best tips that I use today, years later, from the Tony Robbins advice. And the one I use most often is the 10 questions technique, or 7 questions or something. And what it means is that when I'm on a walk, what I'll do, if I want to lift my mood, if I want to spark my thinking in a positive way, I'll use this technique. And one of the points in his book was that, our thoughts, whether it's positive or negative, comes down to the questions we're asking ourselves. So if I say, what is annoying me today? And I think of the answers, I'm probably going to start feeling annoyed. But if I think, what am I thankful for today? Or what am I excited to do later? It's going to get me thankful or excited. So in this exercise that you can do, I do it when I'm on a walk. You can do it whenever. You ask yourself these following questions and you just give yourself 3 answers to each one. And the first one is, I'll do it in the order that I do it usually. I say, what am I excited about? And that one's easy. Because if we look over the next few weeks or the next days, there's probably something we're excited about, even if it's a new episode of a TV show, for example. And so you think, what am I excited about? And an answer comes to you and you picture that and you say, why am I excited for that? And you answer that one. So you say, what am I excited for? And then why am I excited for that? And you do that 3 times. So it might be a TV show. It might be a new project at work. It might be a new book that you want to read. And you're going to be feeling a little bit more excited after that, especially when you go over the reasons why. Then you'll answer the question something like this. What could I be thankful for? What could I appreciate? And a key word there is could, because if we just ask ourselves this question, what do I appreciate? Sometimes that's hard to answer. But if you say, what could I appreciate? Then some answers will start flowing to you and you can kind of cipher through them and pick one of them or 3 of them to focus on. And I think my questions have varied over the years. It may have started as fewer and grew over time. But these are the questions that I'll ask myself. What am I excited about? What do I appreciate? What am I happy about? What am I committed to doing? What am I committed to not doing? How am I going to improve today? Who am I? And things along that nature. I can't think of the others right now, but when I'm on my walk, there might be a few more that come to mind. But they're all positive questions that lead you to positive answers. 2 more things that stuck out from these books were these sentences. The first one was, what you focus on, you will improve. And I love that one because I often will have success in something and I'll think, why is this working? And I'll think, it's kind of that phrase, what you focus on, you will improve, as kind of like a rule of thumb. Like anything that you really focus time on over a week, 2 weeks, etc., you're going to get better at that thing. And you might not be amazing, but you're going to get improvement. So what you focus on, you will improve. I like that kind of as a universal law. And that one's really applied to me and kind of inspired me along the way. And the final one was a little story Tony Robbins gave about if you have a child, a baby that is learning how to walk, but they keep failing, you're going to get them to keep trying to learn how to walk. You're not going to give up on them walking. Like, even if it takes an extra few months, few years, you're going to help them learn how to walk. And that's the metaphor about there's some things that you just don't give up on. And I applied this in my life, I guess, in a lot of ways. One that stands out was when I had severe back pain. I was trying everything to make it work, seeing different specialists. And, after you try 10 or so things, you're like, I don't want to keep trying new things. It's clearly unfixable. But that quote reminded me to keep going. And I think I kept trying like another 10 things, another 10 things, another 10 things. May have been 50 things that I tried over the years to fix this one issue. But I finally was able to solve it. And I was able to work out, what was causing it and try and avoid that. I also had a surgery, so seeing another physician helped. And it was kind of inspired by Tony Robbins on this one. And when I have friends that have chronic pain issues, that's definitely the advice I'd give to them is keep on trying to fix it, in the sense that you don't want to continue on with this pain. So don't give up on trying to think of solutions. They might think 10 is enough, but Tony Robbins pointed out, you wouldn't try 10 times to help your kid learn how to walk. You'd try 100, you'd try 1,000. So I said to my friend, you've tried 10 different doctors, try another 10, and then try another 10 after that. Like, get that number up and don't give up when it's something of importance. So those are the three main things I took out of Tony Robbins. And it was very influential on me over my life. So thank you for joining us for this episode, and subscribe below so we can bring you more content.